Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Charles Debunking, and welcome you guys to another episode of the DREAMERSPRO show. We'll cover everything from sports, hot topics, classic debates, entertainment, and we'll give you guys a first perspective on things and how we see them. And today we're going to be talking about that damn Kevin Durant. But before we get into it, please make sure you like the video and subscribe to the channel. Kevin Durant has to be one of the most annoying people in sports. I've never seen somebody that is as angry as this guy and as tone deaf as Kevin Durant. I mean, for real. A lot of the criticism, that Kevin Durant gets, I believe a lot of it is warranted because he brings a lot of it on himself. If we're being 100% honest here, this guy has become absolutely insufferable. From the constant bickering with fans, you had the story about his ex account or his under burner account, whatever it is, account, and all of that stuff. I saw videos about it. You see, we didn't do no videos on that. Ain't nobody doing no videos on that nonsense, man. And then I think a few days ago, we called him out for trying to basically turn the All-Star game into some race wars, right? And I was like, this is a bozo move because these guys are not the ones that destroyed the league. You guys were the ones that were carrying this league after Kobe and these guys left it. Don't now all of a sudden try to push the blame to just those guys. It doesn't mean that they don't care, because I don't think they care, but you guys are also a part of it. And there's more of you than them. So he tried to play the race card, and I thought he was a bozo for that. But then Mitch sends me over a post here today from Kevin Durant, and I want to read it, bro. This dude is unreal. And it says, it's a lot of BS with that. It's a shot at Black Americans. Kevin Durant, on the narratives that Europe is catching up to USA. Europe does the game right. USA does it wrong. Kevin Durant believes that the narratives about Europe catching up to the USA and Europeans playing the game the right way are truly a shot at Black Americans. I just don't like that talk around the USA versus European style of how you approach the game. All I hear is AAU is destroying the game. The Euros do it right while the Americans do it wrong. It's a lot of BS with that. I can read between the lines on that. It's a shot at Black Americans. We're controlling the sport. They're tired of us controlling the sport. All right. So that's Kevin Durant's comments. Complete bozo comments, right? Total bozo. And do you know who exposes this? Kobe Bryant. Because KD's a bozo. All right, KZ is a certified, he's a douchebag, this guy. If you follow him around, son is a greaseball. We know that. But you know who exposed this? What would you know? Another Black American who was taken way more seriously than Kevin Durant. A Black American who actually carried the NBA with respect and actually cared about the legacy of the sport, in Kobe. And Kobe had been complaining about the decline of American basketball for years now. And instead of, and what Kobe did was he owned up to it. He didn't point fingers and try to make it into a racial thing. He addressed what the issue was, which is not what Kevin Durant is doing. Kevin Durant is still trying to point fingers and turn it into something else. So for those of you who didn't hear what Kobe had to say about the AAU system, which rears a lot of American players, and how he tried to warn these players that European players were coming, take a listen to some of this sound and this article that I found here talking about this, and I'm going to come back and continue on the show. Take a listen to Kobe Bryant.
Kobe, you've been pretty critical of the AAU system and the way American players are brought up.
Not pretty critical, I'm extremely critical. I hate it. Because it doesn't teach our players how to play the right way, how to think the game, how to play in combinations of threes. And I think everything is it's a reward system. I think coaches who are teaching the game are getting rewarded in one fashion or another, and it's just a showcase.
Do you feel like
it's absolutely horrible for the game?
The young guys that are coming up, do you feel like the game is kind of stiff, whereas when your guys were more skilled?
Yeah, but I think that was just by luck in the generation that I grew up in. You know what I mean? Because like my generation is when the AAU basketball really started becoming and I got lucky because I grew up in Europe.
Right.
And, everything there was still fundamental, so I learned all the basics. And I think we're doing a tremendous disservice to our young basketball players right now. That's something that definitely needs to be fixed, and it's going to be one of the things that I definitely focus on.
Kobe Bryant believes European basketball players are more skillful than American basketball players and says it's a growing trend that can be blamed on the greed of coaching at the AAU level. I think that European players are just way more skillful, Bryant said Friday night after the Los Angeles Lakers 109-106 loss to the Memphis Grizzlies. They're just taught the game the right way at an early age. They're more skillful. It's something we really have to fix. We really have to address that. We have to teach our kids to play the right way. Bryant was quick to point a finger at the decline of skilled players in the United States. He then spoke about AAU. Bryant said, horrible, terrible AAU. It's stupid, and it doesn't teach our kids how to play the game the right way. The article then continues on. Bryant was born in Philadelphia, but when he was 6, his father, former NBA player Joe Bryant, moved the family to Italy to continue his playing career. Kobe spent his childhood in Europe until Joe retired in 1991 and moved the family back to the United States. When you have limitations and you understand your limitations and you stay within yourself, you can be great, Kobe Bryant said. You know what you can do and what you can't do. In America, it's a big problem for us because we're not teaching players how to play all around basketball. That's why you have Pau and Marc Gasol, and that's the reason why 90% of the Spurs roster is European players, because they have more skill. Bryant smiled when asked what type of player he would have become if his family never moved to Italy and hadn't learned how to play the game in Europe. Horrible. No, excuse me. He says, I probably wouldn't be able to dribble with my left hand and shoot with my left hand and have good footwork, Bryant said. I was kind of fortunate because I was growing up in Italy. The Red Auerbachs, the Tex Winners, and all the great coaches were doing clinics and camps in Europe. They were teaching all the club coaches, and the club coaches were following their advice and their fundamentals like the Bible. And they were teaching all of us kids that type of stuff. Me, Manu, all of these guys that grew up around that same time were a product of that. It's a big difference. Bryant had a simple solution to the problem. Teach players the game at an early age and stop treating them like cash cows for everyone to profit off of, he said. That's how you do it. You have to teach them the game, give them instruction. But Bryant would hold his annual summer basketball camp and was quick to point out that any solution involving changing the current AAU basketball won't happen overnight. That's a deep well, because then you start cutting into people's pockets. Bryant said people get really upset when you start cutting into their pockets because all they do is try to profit off these poor kids. There's no quick answer. So you heard what Kobe Bryant had to say. What the point is Kevin Durant making here? What point is he making? Kobe Bryant from Philly, bro. What point are you making? What is it, a black American thing and versus this other? What do you mean, bro? What do you mean? The fact of the matter is you guys let the league fall apart. Those are the facts. The league that your predecessors helped build up for you, you guys just let it fall apart. Those are the facts. You don't care about the traditions, none of that. They did. And Kobe, who's an intellectual, who's also a global citizen, who travels around the world and grew up in various places, saw it coming. It's called foresight, something KD doesn't have. So how is it a black thing when you got another black American saying the same thing, saying something totally different? So how is it a black thing? But for those who want to distill it down to that, they'll reach for that. And they'll try to make it into that. And all that will do is not address the problem. Kobe was trying to address the problem by coming up with various basketball clinics. And what is Kevin Durant doing? Oh, it's not me, it's them. That's number one. Number two, Kevin Durant is worth millions and millions of dollars. KD, you would know this better. Not everyone that comes from Europe is black, bro. My God, bro. My God. And how did you bunch all of these guys? These guys, just say foreign players. It's not just a white thing. Giannis won multiple MVPs. He's black. He's black. He's just as black as you. Pascal Siakam is from another country. Hakeem Olajuwon was from another country. These are blacks. Yeah, you have some white Europeans, but come on, man. Come on. Come on, man. What school? Like, come on. You guys ought to be a little bit more educated about when you talk about things like this. No, you were the one that stood up there in the all-star press conference or whatever and tried to make it into a black or white thing. The league don't care. Did you hear what SGA said 2 years ago when they asked him? He said money talks, referring to the All-Star game. That's a black dude. Now, he may be from Canada. He's still black. LeBron refused to compete in the All-Star dunk contest. What is he? Why are we making this thing into a race thing? He's talking about the way that they develop basketball players abroad versus the States. KD, with his simplistic ass mind, is talking about, oh, they're making it a black thing versus Kobe Bryant was a black American. He's known as the hardest working NBA player of all time. What the f talking about, bro? You're trying to appeal to a primitive side of people to turn it into this racial thing. What are you talking about? There's so many great athletes that work hard. What do you mean? They're not talking about whether or not you guys are working hard. They're talking about, do you care? That's what they're talking about. The fact of the matter is, 10 years ago, the league became about brands and not so much about the fans. KD, you curse out basketball fans all day long on Twitter, bro. All day long. You don't give NBA fans. You don't. And then when they call you out for not giving a damn, now you want to turn it into they talking. Who's they, bro? Kobe just said it. It don't work. Your lame don't work. You got a Kobe who's a black man saying the same thing. He just shot holes through your whole entire point. Bozo, bro. Son is a bozo. KD is a certified bozo. Straight up and down. Son is a bozo. He's always arguing with people, fighting with people, saying dumb stuff like, you're a bozo. Who gave this mic? Come on, bro. Y'all got to do better than this. This is who y'all bringing out here to talk? Instead of addressing the issue, I'll see what they try. Who's the they, bro? Y'all don't care. Nobody said this about generations before you guys. And now y'all trying to turn it, oh, the reason they're saying it is because we black. Bro, you're a cornball. KD is a cornball. That's all. These are my thoughts. Whatever you guys think, please leave your thoughts and comments in the comment section. We catch you guys on the next show and I'm out. Peace.